This is the continuing story of Peyton Place. Starring Dorothy Malone as Constance Mackenzie, Ed Nelson as Michael Rossi, Mia Farrow as Allison Mackenzie, Ryan O'Neill as Rodney Harrington, Barbara Parkins as Betty Anderson, Tim O'Connor as Elliot Carson, Christopher Conley as Norman Harrington.
Doctor's Hospital, a new arena for the Rodney Harrington case. Today, Rodney is determined to confront Stella Chernak, employed at the hospital, who testified he threatened the life of her late brother, Joe. In Rodney's mind, that confrontation will come quickly, for the car that used to be driven by Joe is now in the parking lot. The new driver must be Stella.
Joe? Oh. Is Stella Chernak in her office?
Yes, she is. Would you like me to tell her that you're here?
No, that won't be necessary.
Do you know the way?
Dr. Morton, emergency. Dr. Morton, emergency.
Yes, Rod? Something you want?
I just wanted to find out about Allison.
Well, there's no change.
That's all I wanted to know.
I've compiled a cross-reference list of the books on order. Where do you think we should put them?
Well, you can file them with the other bibliographies. Stella.
Don't you think that we should break down the list further?
Stella, as long as Allison Mackenzie is here at the hospital, Rod will be coming around to see her.
I'm aware of that.
Well, you're going to have to get used to seeing him from time to time. It's not going to be comfortable.
I've already come to that conclusion. Oh, don't worry, Doctor. I'll live.
Well, I have an appointment.
Are you going? Are you going to go to your office?
No. Let you know later.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm okay.
You sure?
Fine.
You waiting for Dr. Rossi?
No, I've already seen him.
Miss Anderson, report to X-ray. Miss Anderson,
Big brother
report
calling.
to X-ray.
Go ahead. Answer your call.
Will you be here later?
I don't think so. I don't know.
All right.
Nurse?
I'm going to be in the lab all afternoon with Dr. Randall. Will you inform the desk?
Certainly.
I come in, Leslie?
Why, of course, Ted.
Well, this looks kind of comfortable.
It's adequate. When you're living out of a suitcase, you'll learn to keep your requirements simple. Won't you sit down?
Leslie.
What's on your mind?
I want to resign from Rodney's case.
Why?
For many reasons. What they all add up to is that I'm not the man for the job.
Because we lost at the hearing. Court predicted that could happen, and you seem to agree with him.
Not entirely. Basically, I was more hopeful than Stephen. His instincts in these matters are sharper than mine.
Are you inviting the comparison?
It's not one I can avoid. You saw us both in the courtroom, Leslie. If it were your choice, whom would you pick to defend your son?
It is my choice. Let's get that clear.
I was just trying to make it an easier one, that's all.
Yes, I know, Ted. You're requesting that I fire you as Rod's lawyer.
No. That you allow me to resign.
It amounts to the same thing. And that I put Stephen Court in full charge of the case. Well, that's the second time I've had that suggestion, and I'm not sure I like it.
Who made it first?
I had a phone call from Rodney's grandfather.
That was to be expected.
I told you I wasn't sure I liked the idea. Oh, I don't mind leaving the courtroom pyrotechnics to Court, but you could still be of great help.
Don't try to kick me upstairs, Leslie. I appreciate the kindness.
Oh, it's not just a kindness.
Stephen Court does not need me.
But perhaps I do.
What for?
To keep an eye on things.
Things?
Ted, I wish you'd reconsider.
I appreciate the protest, but they've done very little to change my mind.
Well, it's your decision.
Of course. I think you'll be more than satisfied with my successor.
If you mean Stephen Court, well, I'll still have to give that some thought.
Don't let Martin PEYTON prejudice you against Stephen.
Martin PEYTON is his most ardent supporter.
Precisely.
I don't want PEYTON to get the idea he can push me around.
Oh, come on, Leslie. He's only got to look at the record. I remember you'd been manager for less than a week when you showed him what he could expect.
What are you talking about?
The time he locked you out of your office.
Oh, yes. When I hired a new foreman over his protests. Well, he stayed hired.
So Mr. PEYTON had you moved to a smaller office?
To cut me down to size. That's what he said when I called him from that miserable cubbyhole and demanded an explanation. Well, I didn't even answer him. I just sent for a carpenter and told him what partitions to take out. Get as much help as you need, I said. Never mind the cost as long as it's done quickly. 3 days later, I had a new office the size of Martin PEYTON's. And if the truth be known, it's a few feet larger.
And Martin PEYTON did pay the bill for it.
I always liked a good fight.
Yes, Leslie. You always did. But I didn't.
You never had the stomach for it.
Or the claws. You have to be born a tiger. All I had was a green thumb for roses.
And honesty. And a solid knowledge of the law.
I won't deny that. I should have been a Victorian advocate. Faithfully shepherding the widow's mite and peacefully tending my roses. I'm afraid my natural habitat is a 19th century country park, not the modern jungle.
The jungle isn't modern, Ted. It's always been with us.
Perhaps.
Afternoon, Mr. Gordon.
Has Dr. Rossi come in yet?
Yes, he's in the dining room.
Thank you.
Hello, Stephen. Why the look?
You resigned the case.
You knew it was inevitable.
I'd hoped you could have worked something out.
I have, Stephen, the best way possible.
I'm sorry, sir.
I don't know what Leslie or Mr. PEYTON will decide now, whether they'll make you senior counsel or hire someone else, but my money's on you. Thank you. See you in the office Monday morning.
Mr. Dow,
Stephen, Don't ever lose what you have.
Sorry I'm late.
No, you're just in time. I was beginning to feel a little out of place here at the bar with this coffee.
Thanks for waiting.
Gentlemen, what'll it be?
Well, I'll have a little more coffee and a sandwich, please. Ham and cheese.
Make it 2, and I'll have a glass of beer. We'll take it at that table over there.
Yes.
Well, are they keeping you busy?
I could use a few more hours in the day, I guess.
Couldn't we all?
Well, are we going to beat around the bush once more?
Just a half a turn. Did you and Betty have a pleasant conversation the other night?
No, it was a little one-sided. She asked a lot of questions, and I tried to answer them.
Well, I may have a few of the same questions.
Yeah, I knew you didn't come to see me for medical advice.
No, but you might be able to patch up a few things for me. Stella Chernak's testimony knocked some holes in our boat. It didn't sink us, but we're listing pretty badly.
Yes, I was aware of that.
Well, then you must be also aware that anything we can find to damage your testimony can put us back in course.
Dan, you want me to furnish the ammunition?
Can you?
No.
May I ask a personal question?
Well, I think I better hear the question before I answer that.
Whose side are you on?
Here you are, sir.
Thank you.
Let's take that table in. Whose side are you on? Well, I happen to be luckier than you. I don't have to choose sides.
Do you believe what she said?
I'm getting a little tired of that question, too.
Well, take my advice, Doctor, and learn to live with it. It'll be asked more and more until the trial.
Look, Steve, I don't know what Rod said to Stella or what she said to him. Now, if you want me to call her a liar, I can't and won't.
When you came in on her and Rodney, did she seem upset? Frightened?
No.
And she didn't say anything about Rodney?
No?
Well, don't you find that just a little odd? A man threatens to kill her brother, and she acts as if nothing happened.
Now, Stella Chernak seems to be the type of woman who keeps most of the things that bother her deep inside.
And she must be a remarkable woman. Most people have to confide in someone just to relieve the pressure.
Well, maybe she's special.
Maybe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Why did you hire her?
I hired her because I needed an assistant for my research project at the hospital, and she seemed to fit the bill.
Seemed.
It does.
And she's been reliable.
Extremely so.
Even after the shock of her brother's death?
Well, her job at the moment isn't too complicated. All she has to do is compile data from other research projects in hematology. When we figure out exactly what phase we'll enter, then she'll assist me at the lab as a biochemist.
Has she spoken of her personal life?
I never asked her.
And she's never offered?
That's right.
What does she do in California?
Research?
Did she ever mention any friends, any incidents, anything?
No.
Don't you people talk shop, Doctor?
We're used to being understaffed now and overworked.
And the only thing you know about her is what you've seen at the hospital.
And that's all I need to know.
You don't like these questions, do you?
Steve, she's on my staff.
And you feel protective toward her?
Yes. Professionally.
Personally?
That's none of your business.
Well, I might have to make it my business.
Thanks for the sandwich.
Sorry, Doctor. All's fair. Law of the jungle.
I thought you were looking for justice.
I'm trying to save a man's life. You know, we're really in the same business, Doctor.
Not quite.
Oh, yes. In our own way, we each try to outwit death. Only in your profession, when you do it, anything you want, you get. Because a human life is the most important thing in this world, and you've been commissioned to save it. In my profession, when we try to do the same thing, people hide. They run. They don't want to get involved. You hold out your hand for a scalpel, it's there. I hold out mine for the truth, and 9 times out of 10 is slapped away. How would you like to operate under those conditions?
All right, Stephen.
Just give me the benefit of the doubt. As much as you give Stella Chernock.
Hi, Rod.
Hi, Rita.
I came to see Allison.
I don't know if you can get in to see her. It was quite a job for me to get a visitor's pass.
Oh.
She wouldn't even know you were there.
Well, it didn't matter. I wanted to come anyway. Will you do me a favor? Will you take this to Allison's room? Maybe you can put it in a drawer or someplace. Somebody gave it to me once when I was in the hospital.
Come on, I'll walk you to your car.
I wish you knew how many people out here were pulling for her.
Well, why don't you tell her yourself when she comes out of it?
Okay. Rod, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for the way everything went.
That's all right. What is it?
Nothing, honest.
Oh, Joe's car, yeah.
It was just kind of like his ghost.
Yeah, well, Stella works here.
You'd think she'd get rid of it.
Not Stella, that's her way of reminding everyone.
I can almost hear that horn calling me. I felt that everywhere I went, Joe was there, needling me. He never left me alone. That was Joe's way. He always touched everything and it became hurt and spoiled. You know, I knew it'd end badly. But this way, I never thought it would be. Rod, can I ask you something?
Sure.
That day that Joe died, you came to the drugstore to talk to me. Did I say something that got you so upset that you went to Joe's house and made a threat?
You believe Stella?
I don't know. Maybe I did it. Maybe I said something that got you upset. And
You didn't do anything. She lied. Stella lied.
I'm sorry. Stephen can break her down, can't he?
Who knows?
Oh, I'm sure he can break her down. Then they'll believe you. In fact, everyone will believe you.
Dr. Rossi, telephone line 1. Dr. Rossi, telephone line 1.
Oh, the flowers are lovely. I wonder who sent them.
Constance.
What is it?
Look there, she's lying different.
Eli.
She's moved. Allison's moved. Look closely. It's as if she's shifted to one side.
Allison didn't do it. They do it for her.
Hmm?
The nurses and the therapists, they change her position and exercise her muscles so that they don't stiffen.
you are.
Stella.
Oh, Constance, it's wonderful, that's all. Simply wonderful. What did that boy of mine say when you told him?
He was delighted, naturally.
You know, I've never held a grandbaby on my knee or put a watch up to one's ear to make it smile. I've never even heard a young one that was learning to speak try to call me grandfather. It's going to be quite an experience.
Well, I can see that this is one baby that's not going to suffer from lack of family. When Allison was little, she missed out on so much.
You mark my words. I know Allison. She's going to be just as happy about the new baby as the rest of us.
Rod?
Hello, Mrs. Carson. Mr. Carson.
Rodney, how are you doing?
Well, as they say in here, as well as can be expected.
You just keep it up.
Yes. I've been in the lab. Were there any calls for me?
No, Miss Sharon.
Dr. Randall asked me to give you this.
Thank you.
Rodney, it's the waiting that's hard.
Sir?
The waiting is hard.
How's Allison?
You going in to see her?
Well, I'll probably come back later.
Rodney, the work has been piling up at my chandlery since Elliot left me. I was wondering if you could give me a hand. Be a big help if you could.
Well, maybe so. Excuse me.
I thought it might fill in the time for him. You can see I said just the right thing to buck him up.
It's hard to find the right words.
That's just the way they sound. Hard.
Preview from the continuing story of Peyton Place.
Your theory would hold water if she had nothing to lose. Stella Chernak, she's risking everything that she fought so hard to achieve.
I've never met anybody like you.
Why don't you try throwing something over my head? Anything! A rock, a stick, a gaping hook.
I've got to consider bringing in a well-seasoned criminal lawyer. I hope you realize my position.